Right now, there was a vehicle fire that was cooking off to the right-hand side on the I-10 westbound near the Loop 303. We do still see in the bottom right portion of those ADOT cameras a lot of first responders. The right lane blocked. Those flames are now out. We'll let you know about speeds in the area and track a whole view across the valley on your Friday morning commute. And Megan Thompson watching those current traffic conditions for you here on this Friday. Some issues to let you know about: a vehicle fire along the I-10, that westbound direction near the 303 off to the right hand side. It was really active right around that 4:30 time frame with those flames, that smoke in the air, those crews working quickly. And luckily, we're hearing no injuries to report from this as well. Everybody made it out of the vehicle safely. We're still seeing those flashing lights, though, off to the right hand side. Just a little bit of slowing in that area, too, which is atypical, especially for that westbound side. Most of you heading in on that eastbound side. So watch for those speeds right around 30 miles per hour and move to the left to get by. We'll get you a check of some of those desert drive times. We're also going to warn you about some weekend construction projects, especially if you wanted to plan on heading up to the high country to see some of the rain and snow that meteorologist Jorge Torres is tracking this morning. Hey there.
Hey there. Yeah, just checking the latest model runs coming in. This storm is going to be one for the record books, at least across other parts of the country. Not so much here in Arizona.
Thompson giving you a wide view across the valley right now with a check of those freeways and current conditions. We're seeing a little bit of slowing on I-10 and the 17, but mostly that Friday light activity. Want to warn you about some weekend construction projects. So the 17, it's going to be a little bit dicey for folks making their way in that northbound and that southbound direction here this weekend, because we're going to have kind of these rolling closures, rolling restrictions. Now, the freeway itself will not be fully closed, but lanes are going to be reduced in that area at different times. It could be in those overnight hours. It could be throughout the day, through the weekend. This is pretty much starting late tonight into Sunday. So here's a view of that area that's going to be impacted. It's between the Carefree Highway and Anthem Way. So heads up if maybe you planned on heading to the high country to try and catch some of that snow, that rain that meteorologist Jorge Torres is tracking. It's not just here in our state that you're looking. You're taking us all across the country with some of these weather impacts.
Yeah, you see the map behind me.
Yeah,
that shows
lit up, yeah.
all of the winter.
Megan Thompson getting you a check of Traffic Planner Plus. Let's see how those desert drive times are looking here on this Friday morning, including the I-10, your eastbound direction from the 303 to the mini stack. We are over a half hour in that yellow range, so not too bad if you're about to head out the door as we approach that 6 o'clock hour. 17 minutes on Grand Avenue from the 101 over towards the 17, and green conditions on the 101 southbound, the Agua Fria Freeway from Grand Avenue as you look to connect to the I-10. Your East Valley commute looks fantastic across the board, like the Red Mountain Freeway from the 101 to the mini stack where the 51, the 202, and the 10 freeways come together. 8 minutes there, 15 minutes on the 60 from the Super Red Tan over to the I-10 interchange, and then maybe you'll hop on the Broadway curve from there, also looking good. Loop 101 northbound from the Santan Freeway to the Red Mountain Freeway. That's also in the green as you head out the door, less than about 10 minutes as you get going. And checking the 17 from the 101 towards that stack interchange, about 15 minutes, 12 minutes on the 51 southbound as you're traveling from that 101 interchange down toward the mini stack, and the Loop 101 eastbound from the north stack where the 17 and the 101 merge together all the way over to the 51. That's about 6 minutes here as you get out the door. Right now in the eastbound direction of the Pima Freeway, this is right in this crash off to the left-hand responder on scene, but it's not DPS. So we're still waiting for DPS to arrive there on the scene and provide some support to those drivers and hopefully get them out of those travel lanes, because this is very slow to start your day in a spot that's typically not used to it, seeing those speeds dropping to about 5 miles per hour. And then on top of it, as we look further to the west there along the Loop 101, I was already tracking in that eastbound direction a stalled vehicle near 56th Street that was blocking the center lane. They moved that one off to the right-hand side. So just some issues along that stretch in the Desert Ridge area as you're making your way along the 101. I'll keep watching this for you, give you a wider view across the valley. We also have some weekend construction projects to warn you about. That all depends on the weather, though, if those crews are going to be out and about. But want to give you that heads up. That's all still ahead, Nick.
All right, yeah, because we know the 101 gets really backed up this time of morning. So much for Friday Light, Megan. Thank you.
Another live view of that crash I'm watching on the 101 right there near Scottsdale Road. More lanes have been blocked off because DPS, they have just arrived to the scene now. So we've got the HOV lane and those two left lanes blocked for drivers in this area I'll bring you an update on speed. Still ahead, Nick. That crash we've been watching in the Scottsdale area in the northeastern part of the valley, right along the Loop 101. Now, this area, you typically have green flows, especially at this point of the morning. This is pretty much going to impact you as you're making your way past that 51 interchange and you're continuing in that eastbound direction. DPS on scene blocking multiple lanes as well as a fire engine as well. We've got the HOV lane and those two left lanes blocked off. Folks only getting by to those center and right lanes through that area. And on top of that, we also had a stalled vehicle just west of that scene too, near about 56th Street. And then we have this crash as you're approaching 64th Street and Scottsdale Road with speeds dropping to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Big heads up for you as you head out the door here on this Friday. Here's a wide view across the valley. Other than that, though, we're seeing pretty good conditions along I-10 and the 17. We know both of those spots get a little slow normally, so we'll see what Friday light is looking with a check of those desert drive times still ahead. Live with our ADOT cameras as DPS and those ADOT officials are conducting a traffic break. An ADOT official right now is quite physically pushing one of the vehicles involved in this crash on the 101 eastbound near about Scottsdale Road near 64th Street. They're trying to push that vehicle out of the way completely, so traffic has had to stop. We do know that the HOV lane and those two left lanes have been blocked for quite some time. As you're making your way along the Loop 101 and seeing so many brake lights through this spot that we don't typically see it at this point of the morning. I'm going to keep watching this behind the scenes. I'll let you know when it officially clears and gets out of the way so you know what to expect as you hit the 101. Plus, we'll check some other desert drive times still ahead, Nick.
Okay, Megan, 6
Northbound direction. Hey there. Happy Friday to you, Megan Thompson. Want to warn you, we're seeing some slowing in some abnormal areas. You got that slowing along I-10 and the 17 southbound, and also in these areas. This isn't your lights there in that overpass area. Your speeds right around 10 to 15 miles per hour in that northbound direction too. Seeing a similar story on that southbound side as well. Then we are taking you back to the 101, that eastbound direction. Near about 56th Street near Scottsdale Road, we had that crash that was blocking all lanes at one point as a traffic break was being done. I want to let you know they have been able to move those vehicles off to the right-hand side. And we also still have that stalled vehicle near about 56th Street. So a lot of slowing in that eastbound direction as you're making your way from the North Stack over to the 51 area near Desert Ridge and then to Scottsdale Road. That drive time is about 25 minutes. I'll warn you about weekend construction projects still ahead.
Okay, we appreciate it.
We do have some weekend construction projects in place along the 17. This isn't going to be a full closure in that northbound or that southbound direction through this stretch between the Carefree Highway and Anthem Way area, but we are going to see lanes reduced at different times, sometimes in those overnight hours, sometimes during those day hours through Sunday. They're going to be rolling closures, so keep that in mind to give yourself some extra time if you're using the 17 here this weekend. Also a heads up, this is going to be closed Arizona Avenue and also Lindsay Road right there at the 202, the Santan Freeway in both directions. This is 10 p.m. Friday to 5 a.m. on Monday as you are working your way around the East Valley. Kaylee.
Very much. We turn now to the search for